What's up everyone? Welcome back to One Strange Adventure and welcome to the next video. Today's video, well, today is the day. Today, we're gonna give you a tour of our new 2021 Grand Design Momentum 399 THR. Let's go. All right, everyone, before we get started, we just wanted to give you a couple quick things about this video. One, we're sorry it is a long video and it could have been even longer.
It's like the longest video we've ever made.
Yes. So because of that, we've actually broken it down into 4 different sections: the exterior, the nose of the RV, the main living area, and then the garage. Yeah. So if you look in the description, the timestamps to those sections are down there. The other thing that we will say is we get asked all the time,
how much does this cost? How
much did we pay for this? And so what we're going to do at the end of this video is show you the spec sheet, the build sheet of this rig and what the MSRP was for it. So we're not going to get into the details of the deal that we had, but we will show you the MSRP since it's pretty universal.
And everybody's build is going to be different because there's stuff on there that you might not choose, or stuff that we chose that you're like, why did they choose that? But we actually didn't build it, so it just gives you an idea of what those things cost if you were to build one.
There's a few things we would have done a little bit differently, but overall we're very satisfied with this rig, and let's jump into the exterior. Okay, let's start with the specs of this RV. It is a Grand Design Momentum 399 THR, R standing for residential, and I'll show you some of that when we get inside. This unit is 43.5 feet long. When we're booking campsites, we say 45 feet just to be safe. It is actually 16,794 pounds dry weight, so it is a little bit heavier than what it does say online. Believe it or not, the body paint, the slide toppers, and the extra AC unit adds a lot of weight. We have 3 7K axles. They're not upgraded to 8K. I wish they were, but we actually didn't design this one, but it was a special order. However, we do have H-rated tires, so we do have a little bit more beef in the tire, just not the axles itself. It does have 6 jacks, and those are hydraulic jacks. They are rated at 7,000 pounds a piece. It does have 2 30-pound propane tanks, kind of standard with this size RV. Something you will see on the propane tank, I have added these gas stops. They have a meter on it basically that shows you how much gas is in there. In addition, if it detects a slow leak somewhere, it will stop it. So those are actually pretty good, and they will be linked down below. It does use the same Nautilus system as all of the other Grand Designs. I won't go into the specifics of that in terms of like winterization and things like that. But you can do it all from this control panel. This one does have a built-in water filter, which is a little different than what our Reflection had, which didn't have anything, so we had to add our own. But this one actually has a built-in water filter, which is pretty nice. Now this RV actually has 3 slides. One of them is in the front, which used to be the master bedroom. I'll show you that in a little while. We have done some upgrades if you haven't seen our previous videos. But the first one is a Schwintek slide, and then the other 2 are hydraulic. Now this RV actually has the frameless windows, and these are double pane windows. So they do provide some more insulation, and they cut down on the noise. Another thing I've noticed is that when we're running our propane heat, you don't see condensation building up on the windows. Something else that's pretty cool about this toy hauler, and I think it's pretty standard with most toy haulers, but it does come with its own gas pump. So if you have a 4-wheeler, ATV, something like that, you can fill these tanks up and actually transfer the fuel over to your toys. And so that is regular gasoline only. You don't put diesel in there or anything. But the front tank is actually 30 gallons, and that fuels the generator. The back tank is 30 gallons, and that is for your toys. And you have your gas pump. A little pro tip: 30 gallons for your generator. If you don't have toys, 30 gallons extra for your generator. Just pump it into the other tank. So then you have 60 gallons for your generator. So I learned that from a friend of ours and wanted to pass that information along to you. Now for the sewer system, it does have a front and back disposal, and so this is for the rear gray and black tank combined. A little bit of an upgrade. I actually added these Valterra wastegate handles, and so that I put that on the front and back. And since it's a new RV, I wanted to kind of start fresh with our sewer system. I upgraded to the Titan sewer hoses, and these things are awesome. So far, those things have been great. Now, some of my favorite features of this RV are the patios. The reason we love the $399 is because it has a side patio and the rear patio, which is the deck. The rear lid comes down and turns into a deck, which is an amazing office, especially when you're working from home every day. If you watch some of our previous videos, we did upgrade the back stairs to the MoreRide stairs and then added the MoreRide toolbox underneath it. Those have worked out really well. The only thing I will say is that we added this Camco handle to the screen door, and it does rub it a little bit, so you got to kind of press the doors out because it's on a strut. But other than that, these have worked out perfectly. Another one of my favorite features, again, like I said a little while ago, is the side patio. This is perfect for grilling. We actually took the TV out of the little compartment that comes in it, and we put our cooking utensils in there. So we are going to be upgrading that to like a little outside chef area, kitchen slash cooking area. So this is one of our favorite features, just being able to walk out just like she did and come out with the Blackstone on the table and start cooking.
It's super easy to open the little gate to get in and out of. We did put our stairs in storage though, because we prefer letting the dogs come in through the house to get out onto the patio, but all you do is move this little bar and then the gate opens up for them.
Another feature I love about this RV is that this thing, with all of the awnings out on the back, over the rear patio, and over the front door, you have awning almost the entire length of the RV. And then you got a slide topper there. So technically I do have awning all the way down the side of the RV. And that makes it really nice. Unfortunately, they are super tall and I will never be able to adjust them, but they are really nice, and they have LED strips on the end of them, which looks really good at nighttime. This does have the MoreRide step above stairs that goes into the main entrance. In addition to that, it does have a water spigot on the outside. The water hose that comes on the Nautilus system also fits here. It's just a simple quick connect, and you can wash your stairs off, wash the dogs off, wash the kids off, whatever the need is, it's there for you. The other thing I love about this unit is it has a huge storage. Now the one downside and some cons that I've heard about this RV is that it doesn't have a pass-through storage, and that's accurate. So it does stop, and it's only the Nautilus system on the other side. But what I will say is we've been able to store pretty much everything we need between this and the truck. So we haven't had any needs for a pass-through. It would be convenient to not have to take everything out every time to get to the other side, but we're making do, and we've gotten some totes to be able to organize stuff. So we're working it out. Now under the nose in the front storage, this is where you would fill up your hydraulic fluid. This is where your battery is stored. I actually store some of the lighter stuff, water hoses, things like that, in totes. In addition, our generator is under here, our Cummins Onan 5500 generator, which does a great job, and it's actually pretty quiet, so that's really nice too. But we store a little bit of the stuff in here, but most of the stuff goes into the side unit or the side storage bay. The other thing I'll say is I do love this MoreRide Kingpin. It does take a lot of the chucking out because this actually shifts back and forth instead of transferring it to your truck. It does have a bunch of LEDs on the front nose and underneath, and we will show you all of that once it gets dark. I think that does it for the outside, but if there's anything that I missed or any other questions you have, please make sure you just list them in the comments below, and we will certainly respond to those. Now let's go ahead and go inside, and we are going to start in the nose of this RV.
We are going to start in the nose of the camper, which is the master bedroom, but we converted it to a bunkhouse for the kids. Not really a bunkhouse because it's two separate beds, but let's show you what we did. So this is the original nightstands from the king size bed area. So if you get a king size option, you have that little tiny nightstand on the right hand side and this big one on the left. And if you get a queen, of course that side is a little bit bigger, but since this was a king, it made a perfect bed for Michaela. And this side is Nick's bed, and we used a twin bed frame and we cut it down to be 30 inches wide. Narrow or slim twin on Amazon is 30 inches wide by 75 inches long, so it's the perfect size for a twin this way if you keep the headboard the way that, or the nightstand the way that it was. They are using, most of these cabinets are pretty much empty. We have all of our washcloths and hand towels for the bathroom and kitchen up here in these little baskets, and then this side we also just have a little basket. It's got Nick's electronic things in it, in his little jewelry box. This one just has my hats and my tins machine and nail stuff for Michaela in there. It's not very deep. It literally is like the size of my hand. It goes to about right there. I'm assuming all of the light wiring and stuff is back there in that corner. Under the bed, we decided to use these baskets from Target for their laundry baskets instead of having a big hamper in here. So I made it to where they could actually fit their shoes under the hole. I don't know if you can even see them down there, but the shoes are lining the nose of the camper so that they're not just all over the floor or taking up a drawer anywhere. And then the kids can put their dirty clothes in there and just slide them back in. Alright, and then above here we just have the bags for their bedding. We haven't done anything in that cabinet quite yet. I'm sure they'll find something to stick up there. And then this cabinet is Michaela's. She puts all her books and her bags for her laptop and stuff up here, and the color pencils for them to do their projects with, and Sharpies are up there. And then of course we got her this little tray for her earrings and necklaces to go in at nighttime. And then under here is where they keep their extra bags and their binders for their schoolwork. And that's actually a really deep cabinet. It goes all the way back to the back wall. And the kids are really enjoying having these little portholes, windows that open to let airflow in. Michaela likes that at nighttime when the air's not really running because it gets cooler outside. The closet area is not just for the kids. We do not have a hang-up closet space in the garage yet, so we decided to keep this one for ourselves. So this is mine and Harold's hang-up clothes, and then Nicholas uses a little basket right here for his school supplies because Michaela gets to use this cabinet for hers, so he gets a basket in here with us. So all of these clothes we had in the reflection in our closet, and so they fit perfectly in this area. And then the kids share this side. Don't mind the mess, I'm so sorry. And then they also have, this is Michaela's basket, and then all of our towels stack on that back wall right there, which is pretty nice. And then the drawers are all pretty deep and wide. They go pretty, she gets 3 rows of clothes in her drawers because she's tiny anyways, but that's a pretty good space for her. And then Nicholas gets this one and Michaela gets this one as well. And then for Nick, we also wanted him to have Xbox to play with his friends, so Harold took the TV out of the garage that folds down because the one in there actually was able to drop down for you to see at the lower bunk area. So we actually switched that out and put it in here so it can drop down, and then he will be able to play without straining his neck. A couple benefits of having the 3 AC setup on the One Control app: you can actually turn on this AC by itself. So the kids, it gets a little hotter up here with both of them in here, so we turn their fan on at a lower setting or the temperature down lower, and it gets to turn on to circulate. They also have their own thermometer or temperature gauge right here that tells the One Control to turn on. And then of course the light switch. And then this piece right here is actually to control that slide. So when we're done cleaning up in here, we can manually pull in the slide and then leave through the bathroom, even if I'm not finished tearing down the front, the main living area when it's on travel days. Since this used to be the master bedroom, they have a door to access the master bathroom. So let's take a look. We have the max air vents that are rain sensors, but so that we could take them open and closed while we're in the shower and not worry about rain outside, we did install vent covers for them. And the control panel for that is right here above the light switch, which is pretty nice because you can turn it on before you get in the shower. Now, our shower is huge and has more faucets than our one that we had in our sticks and bricks house, and Harold loves it because it feels like a waterfall. I usually only use the little handheld one because I like it to feel really strong on my hair to rinse it out, especially when my hair is longer. So I like the handheld. The corner shelves that we installed a few weeks ago are holding up great. They haven't wiggled at all, and all of our products have actually stayed on them going down the road, which is pretty nice because I don't have to worry about taking everything out and putting it in the floor of the shower.
Okay, so Cindy was showing you the bathroom, but again, one of my favorite features is the shower, and I wanted to show you how big this thing is, because a lot of times people will get in showers of RVs and they're really cramped and small, but this thing is massive. So I'm 5'10", and it's kind of like a sunken in tub here, and I have a lot of room, and this isn't even in the tallest part, where the skylight is. I can actually almost reach completely up and touch the skylight, but this thing is awesome. So it's got 4 shower heads, plenty of room, plenty of elbow room to turn, bend over. It's got little ledges so the girls can shave their legs and stuff like that. But yeah, we love this shower.
All right, so the shower is the 3-pane glass system, which is nice in a way because it lets in a ton of light from that huge skylight up there. It is a pain to clean though, because you have to try to get into these little grooves, and if your hands are too big, it doesn't really work that well. So if anybody has any tricks on keeping those clean, let me know. And then a second thing is if you open it one direction, it squeaks. But going the other direction, it doesn't. The kids got to take over this medicine cabinet, and it's actually pretty big. So this is Nick's shelf and Michaela's shelf, and then of course they share the Listerine and stuff, and then we put all of the first aid kit stuff up top. So they get to use that. And then it's got the 2 drawers here, and then a huge underneath area for them. So it works out really well for them.
Welcome to the living area of our Grand Design 399. I am going to cover this general area, the entertainment center. We have a 50-inch TV here. It's a LED 4K TV. Came with it. We have our AT&T box, our Wi-Fi router actually mounted back behind it, and we have Apple TV mounted back behind it as well. We do have a fireplace, and this fireplace kicks. It will warm up this area pretty much on its own, as long as it's not too cold outside. Up here we have a lot of storage. We just kind of store our whatnots, and we have 2 Rockford Fosgate punch amps right here, because this RV does have the Rockford Fosgate system, which is a 1,000-watt system. You can control the amps, and there's a subwoofer behind the couch. There's speakers in the ceiling, and then there's speakers outside on the patio. This thing sounds really good, especially when you're watching movies. We also have the Lippert One Touch display. It gives you all of the information that you need. You can actually control this with your phone, and that's how I generally turn the lights on and everything, just straight through my phone with the app. It's really nice, and we pay for the service. It's $10 a month. You can actually remote access everything on your RV except for the awnings. And so if you detect there's a power outage or something like that while you're out, you can monitor the temperature in your RV, and you can turn your generator on, or you can turn your ACs on. There's a lot of things you could do, a lot of benefits, especially if you have pets. Above it, we just keep some of our PlayStation stuff. And then this closet is our pantry. It's kind of an odd placed pantry over here by the front entry door. You would think this would be like a nice coat rack or shoe closet or something like that, but Nope, it's our pantry. It has our full vacuum system built in, and there's a port here. There's also a couple ports on the stairs. You also have our fuse panel down at the bottom and the return for our furnace. Above that, we keep all the hoses to our vacuum system. That way, everything's just kind of stored out of the way. Games, things like that is out there. So I will say that the one thing this RV has is storage, which is pretty nice.
Okay, so like Harold said before, the pantry is right there at the main door. It is not our only space to store food. We actually have it in different cabinets throughout the RV because of the way that that is shaped, with the bottom half being used for other stuff, and the wine garden and all that's up in the top left corner taking up some space as well. So on top of the pantry, we also have our refrigerator, which is a Samsung 18 cubic foot refrigerator, residential style. So it's ran on the inverter. It also comes with the freezer down here, and it has an ice maker built into it, which is great for, you know, everybody that loves ice. We also have, above it is a little storage compartment. We use this area for bags of chips, and this basket has our bread and tortillas and stuff like that in there, so we can make wraps and sandwiches up there. And then moving on down this way is our residential oven and stovetop. The stovetop has nice cast iron griddle pieces on there so that when you put a heavy pot on there, it doesn't actually bend in. I know some of them are very thin and give. This one does not. It makes it really nice. And then the stove oven part is lit and makes it where that's lit up and all your little knobs are lit up for nighttime so you can see your dials. Beside the oven is a little storage compartment. We use this one for our baking sheets as well as my cast iron skillets, and I have a wooden hot pad down there. And then it also has a little pull-out tray for spices. I actually use it for the oils and vinegars and stuff so that we can have those right here at hand. And then I keep my spices actually above it in these little baskets. So these are all of our spices that go with our cooking, and then packs of seasonings for like sloppy joe mix and things like that is up here in this little basket. This is not a convection microwave. That's the only downside to this one. It is vented though, so the vent is outside, so we don't have to worry about all the smoke coming in here. It actually pushes it out, and it's a pretty good size too. It's pretty big. Harold hung a magnetic strip for me from Bed Bath & Beyond to hold my knives. This is only a few of the knives, but I wanted to make sure that the ones I use regularly are hung right here. I have them this direction because they have a little stopper on them. When we're going down the road, they won't jiggle off and hit the counter. When you have them the other direction, sometimes they like to vibrate off. So I put them this way, and then I just lay my hand towel up here when we go down the road just in case. So my island is probably my most favorite feature of the kitchen area on top of the residential stuff. It is huge. This kitchen in the 399 feels like you're losing some counter space because we don't really have that taco bar like we had in the Reflection. But this counter is actually bigger than the Reflection. It has a whole extra, I would say, 1.5 foot length, as well as an extra 10 to 12 inches of width to it, which makes it nice. It has 6 drawers. This one we hold our Corelle dishes in. I want to get the pegboard system in here to help for making them wiggle around, but they do really well going down the road. And then of course underneath the sink has plenty of room as well. This side I actually use for my hot pads and oven mitts and things, and then up in there is just my little pots that we use that are not cast iron. They're just to make the kids macaroni and things. And then down here at the bottom is where I use my serving trays stay. And then when the lids to the sink are not on the sink, we actually store them down there as well. This side actually holds our cleaning supplies. We got a paper towel holder, and it was not a command strip style, so I actually just put 3M tape on the bottom of it down here and put it on the cabinet so there's no holes in the cabinet. But underneath here we have our collapsible mop, and then all of our trash bags and anything that you might need for cleaning wise. Now for the kitchen sink, we do have this nice black faucet, and it does extend, and it has the shower look as well as the regular. The nice thing about this sink is it actually is a pretty big, deep sink. It has a little divider in it, so it makes it nice to wash dishes on one side and then put them in the other side to rinse off or to dry. And then I put a little placemat up here if there's too many to, overflow. So in our kitchen living room area, we also have our entry to our patio. This is where we would access the side patio, and we hung a curtain up just so that we could have privacy if the patio is down. Makes it pretty nice. And then on this side, it's lit with LEDs, and then of course the top lights as well. Down here is where we keep all of our coffees and teas and syrups, and then I have some more baking dishes down here, like the casserole style dishes are down at the bottom. This is where we keep our Keurig and hot water kettle. It has 2 plugs plus 2 USB ports here too. This corner I reserved for the Berkey. Because of us traveling full time, I didn't want to have to hassle with going to find bottles of water or getting water refilled like at Publix and stuff. So we ordered this Berkey from Techno RV because Berkey's online system was actually sold out, but Techno RV still had one in stock. This is the travel Berkey. It's 1.5 gallons, just in case anybody's wondering. And then up above us is where we keep our coffee cups and things like that go right here. I did buy a little rack that fits in the hole to make it a double shelf. I really would like to eventually get a actual wooden shelf put in so that we can have multiple levels. And then up above is where I just keep my Tupperware to store our leftovers. And then on this side, it keeps our candy dish and our toaster. And then on travel days, we actually keep the Keurig and the kettle up in the cabinets as well, so there's plenty of space up there for it. And then above us, if you can see, is the loft. That is actually a twin size bed going the length, and then you can have entrance on either side. We use it as our attic, if you can't tell. All of our extra stuff is up there, including my air fryer. Stays right there in the corner and doesn't move on travel days. Makes it really nice. Alright, so working our way around the kitchen is the dining room area, is what we call it. This is our nice dining room table. It seats 4, and then the kids, when we all have food on the table, we actually just lift this up and it gives you a little extra elbow space so you can scoot out a little bit more or put the food here and have your regular parts over there. Whatever you want. There's a little handle that you pull and it just drops it right back down. And then on this side is our bar top for the island. It came with 2 bar stools so we can sit right there and eat if we don't want to come to the table. And then we have our recliner. It's a nice love seat with 2 recliners. The one in the reflection had the little centerpiece to it. This one is nice and open. Both sides will recline at the same time. Or not at the same time, but together, and make it where you can actually have it all the way across, which makes it nice because there's no hole in the middle. And then it has the little swivel table that comes around. I use it to work. I put my laptop right there and keeps it just off my lap so Pixie can lay on my lap. And then in it is a vibration, lights, as well as heated seats, and then of course the cup holder as well. Okay, so welcome to the garage, aka our bedroom turned into an office. First, I would like to say this is the door that goes to the living area. It is see-through. We are going to come up with some way of covering that to make it a little bit more privacy in here. And then when you come in, the first thing you see is this nice shag carpet. I wanted it a little fluffier, so that's why we went with the shag. This is an 8x10, so I still have this little bit of space before the carpet hits. So the wash machine sets on the main garage floor. This is our LG washing machine that we got a few weeks ago. It has worked fabulous. Over the last few weeks, we are able to do probably about 3 loads before needing to dump the tank out. That really depends on if I use the extra rinse cycle or add extra water. Any of those types of settings will change how often you need to dump it. It has collected just a very little bit of lint. I think the rest of it just drains out of the tank. There isn't a filter to change out on it. It's actually been a very good addition to the camper. Next, you will find the entrance to our little half bath. It is not the biggest thing in the world, but there is a lot of wall space. We are going to eventually put some shelving systems in there to help hold like the laundry, detergent, and things like that. And then on this wall, we purchased these little dressers off of Amazon. They are cloth baskets and have wooden handles screwed into them. They're actually a pretty good quality and the nice size for clothes. So this one is mine, and then this long skinny one is Harold's. It fits perfectly right next to where the bed will lower down onto it. And then on this side, we have a tall skinny one that goes behind the loft ladder that has all of the dog stuff in it for when they need to go on their walks or they come in wet.
I'm going to take the other half of the garage. I will say we have these cabinets that are kind of suspended up on the ceiling. We bought some baskets from Target that fit in there perfectly, and that helps us just store some more of our stuff. Cindy has some shoes and things like that. I have all my camera gear up there. So this half of the garage is really our bed slash office side. So the bed comes down and the desk will actually fold up and go against the wall. And when the bed is up, I take the desk out. I have all my electronic stuff in this bottom drawer right here, and I'll just put it out each day. It doesn't take but a couple minutes anyways. Unfold the desk, put it up, and I have a nice office space plus this view. And you got it where the doors will open. You get a nice breeze, and like I said, you have an amazing view for your office space. We've modified the bed, the braces a little bit. The bed was this was the top platform, which was the top of a bunk bed system, and we modified the brackets. Our good friends over at DRP Collision did that for us, and so we brought the bed down to the frames that were actually holding the rollover sofas. So we were able to get the bed much lower to the ground and a lot easier to get in and out of in the mornings. In addition, I have mounted this monitor stand, and so this is for a future monitor for the office. It will just come down. We're going to, once we have a monitor on there, put some braces on here or some straps. That way we can strap it up to the bottom of the bed and lower the bed pretty easily at nighttime and when we travel. So that's our bedroom slash office slash garage. It is a great space. It's far from done, but it's coming together. We are definitely going to add a few more things like curtains on the back windows. Cindy mentioned something to give us a little privacy on the front door, and then it's nice that we have our own entry door as well. But that does it for the garage.
All right, so we hope you enjoyed our tour of our home.
Yeah.
We love it. We're still changing things up and remodeling.
We actually had a hard time finding walkthroughs of the 399, just a full in-depth walkthrough that wasn't from a dealer. So we hope this is beneficial for folks that are considering this rig. All
right, so as far as the price breakdown goes.
Yeah, the base price of this unit is $90,105. There are roughly $52,926 in options, taking the overall MSRP to $143,031. We thought we would share that with you guys. I know it's going to be a little bit different based on region, and there's just a bunch of different factors that go into that.
Yeah, even all the way down to like what the freight cost is.
Right, but the MSRP is something that you can at least get an idea of what a unit like this costs without going into too much details on the deal that we had. All right, well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, if there's something that we missed that you want to see, leave that in the comments below. We're always happy to make follow-up videos on it.
Yeah, and if there's a specific question that you have that we didn't cover, you can leave it in the comments or send us an email or check our website and see if it's on there.
Yep. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you really like it, make sure you subscribe.
And ring the bell so you get notified when we release our next video.
And until the next strange adventure,
keep making your own.